Imagine you're fitting some crowns and they come back and you're going to try them in, and this is what you have: a horrible black triangle. The patient says, I don't mind, it's okay, I don't notice it so much, but you notice it. What should you do? Should you cement them in? Should you bond them in? Well, I'm going to tell you not to. It's a lesson that was passed on to me by Lincoln Harris, and he taught me that if you are not happy with some aesthetic work, you should never bond it in. Now, it sounds self-explanatory, but maybe in your career at some point, you haven't liked the look of something and you've asked the patient, and the patient said, yeah, it's fine, it's good. And then you've been like, phew, I'm glad I don't have to do that again. And then you glue it in or you send the patient home with it. Does that sound familiar? The problem with doing that is that if the patient ever comes back and says, I don't like this, then you've lost. You know that you yourself don't like it. So how could you disagree with the patient at that stage? It's just deferring a potential problem. So I wasn't at peace with this black triangle, so I got it fixed. So I'll show you how I got that fix, and that's the main tip of today. But some of you may be thinking, why not use the Tarnow principle? What if this contact point right here is 7 millimeters from the bone or less, ideally about 5-6 millimeters, then the papilla might fill in. But in this case, the black triangle for me was too big. And so what could you do? Well, a couple of lessons to learn here is, and something that saved me is A, I wasn't happy and I told the patient, and then I said, let's do a remake. And B, it wasn't a big deal for the patient because I didn't tell the patient that I would be fitting this work today. I told the patient that this would be a try-in appointment. This is something that was taught to me by Govinda Berth, a fantastic dentist at the British Academy of Aesthetic Dentistry some years ago. And he taught me to never call it a fit appointment, but to call it a try-in appointment. If everything goes well at the try-in, you can go ahead and fit it in, which is great. The patient's happy, you're happy. But if you call it a fit appointment and it doesn't work out for any reason, it just creates stress. It lets the patient down. There's expectations attached to a fit appointment. So it's always a try-in appointment, whether it's a single unit or multiple units. So at this try-in appointment, I wanted to send this work back. So how do I communicate this black triangle to my technician? Do I just take a photo and said fill it in? I could do one better than that. So what I did here was a pickup impression. The crowns are on. They are on uncemented. I can put them on and take them off, and I put it back on. So now the crowns are there, and I use a medium phase silicone impression, PVS material, and I take an impression, let it set, take it out, and now the crowns are inside the impression. I send this to my technician, who then gets a 3-dimensional idea of the size of the black triangle. So was doing all this worth it? Well, you bet it was, because this is what I got back from my technician. I didn't do anything to the gingiva. This is the day of the fit, or the second try-in, if you like, but it was actually the fit appointment. By then, we knew that we were happy with the shade and the shape, and it was just this one issue to sort out. And there we are. It's looking much better now. So the 2 main lessons to learn here is never fit anything that you're not happy with yourself when it comes to aesthetic dentistry. And number 2, if you have a black triangle, then why don't you take a pickup impression? That was taught to me by Jason Smithson, fantastic dentist, world-renowned, on one of his courses. Look, I'm not a prosthodontist. I'm sure this is a very simple thing that prosthodontists all know. As a general dentist who had to attend a lot of courses to pick up these little nuggets here and there, I'm just passing them on to you. If you want to see the entire video of me prepping and bonding these 3 crowns and a veneer under rubber dam isolation with a full commentary and discussing the protocols, how to put the cement, to the cleanup protocol, to actually getting the rubber dam on the first place for these preps, then that's all in Protrusive Premium. So if you download the app on iOS or Android and check out the Protrusive Premium subscription, you can check out all my podcast episodes and get verifiable CPD or a CE certificate, depending where you are in the world, and get access to exclusive content that you can only find on the app. In a few months, we're also going to be releasing Verti Preps for plonkers. So guiding you through that, there's also a series on photography and rubber dam isolation. So once a month, a premium content goes on. We can access all the other perks in the Protrusive Vault with all the documents and PDFs. If you're a true Protruserati, you will love it. Thanks so much for joining me in today's tip, and I'll catch you in the next episode. But if you do know of any other topics you want me to cover, then comment below and drop a like.